Okay, so I'm going to give a Boker Tov. Good morning, everyone. Parsha Tetzaveh. So last week the Torah talked about different items, different kelim of the Beit HaMikdash. We talked about what vessels did we talk about? We talked about Aron HaIdut, the menorah, shulchan, right, and the covers, the walls, the fence. So now this week the focus is on the clothing of the Kohanim. So Kohen Gadol wore 8-piece garment, the hat, right, and the piece, like a golden piece that he would put on his forehead. He had 2 dresses, right, 2 long coats, me'il and ketonet. Then he had pants, right, and then he had the urim, utumim. No, that was not the choshen, the plate with all the diamonds on it, and he had the ephod, right? So 8 different pieces of garment Kohen Gadol wore, and it was pretty expensive to wear that. Beautiful and expensive. Kohanim lacked 4 of them. They didn't have the tzis, they didn't have the choshen hamishpat, they didn't have the ephod, right? And they all wore also an avnet, like a gartel, the belt. Right. Some still distinguish between his heart and his bottom part. 4 garments for a regular Kohen, and 8 garments for Kohen Gadol. So one of the mitzvot that the Kohen Gadol, should do, or one of his children, if he's not available, to light the menorah. Lighting the menorah was a very big thing. Every night, some say every morning too, but every night Kohen Gadol was supposed to light the menorah. And many people light the menorah in the shul too. They have a candle or something that represents the menorah. If you go to Hasidic shuls, many people they light right by where the bima is. They have little candles. They light before they start davening. So let's say a beautiful story about lighting candles in a shul, right? Lehalot ner tamid, to light ner tamid. So it says that a city in Hungary, this Rav called Rabbi Assad, and there was a Pashut Yid, a simple Jew. Didn't have much money. He was the shamash of the shul. He was the gabbai of the shul. What was his job? Make sure every morning you have enough light, you have enough candles. You light the candle. Nobody really cared about lighting candles. He's going to light the candle. That's a big deal. But to him, as if he's lighting the menorah of the Beit HaMikdash. He would, wear his long jacket, the garter, the belt. He would make so much kavana. I don't know, but he would say a whole prayer, L'Shem Yichud, Hashem. I'm respecting the Bet Knesset with lighting his candles. Everybody know that this simple Jew, to him, lighting the menorah is as if he's lighting the menorah in the Mishkan. So it says once there was a butcher in town that he watched him and said, "Wow, what is he doing?" And he got jealous. He's making such a big deal out of this, lighting the menorah. He said to him, "Would you let me light the candle? I'll give you some good money." There's no way. This is my mitzvah, not giving away. How about if I give you more money? He twisted his arms. Give me. Why is it only for you? So he said, I'm going to go to the Rav. As Rabbi Assad, what he says, I do. This is my mitzvah. I don't want to give it away. I love doing his mitzvah. Even if there's not, to him, even if you don't light the candles in shul, it's okay. But to him, it was a big thing to light the menorah for the shul. So Rabbi Assad told him, yes, you could let him light the candle instead of you, but in one condition, that every time, every day, he lights it instead of you, has to give you one golden coin. Every day, one golden coin, but you don't use it. You get a box, you get a safe, and you put that golden box in the box, and that's it. You save it, put it in a safe. It's a simple Jew. So if the Rav said so, I'll do it. He said, yes, Mr. Butcher, you got money. You want to donate? I'll take one golden coin, put I put myself. You could light today. Excitingly, he goes and he lights. And the next day, he wants again the shamash wants to go, huh?
Anytime he wants to do.
Every time he wants to light instead of the shamash, he has to give one golden coin. So, and shamash listened to the Rav. He had a box, he had a safe, and he would save the money, the golden coin every day. He thought. After a while, they see the butcher crying. What happened? I'm marrying off my daughter. I don't have enough money to pay the bills. What should I do? They say, Mr. Butcher, go talk to the Rav. Maybe he has an idea. Someone could lend you. So he speaks to the Rav, and the Rav says, okay, let me take care of it. He goes back to the shamash, to the gabbai of the shul, and says, now is the time I told you. Did you save the money I gave you? Bring it back. And I can promise you the amount of money that he needs is the exact amount of coins that you got in your box. Right? So the shamash with his pure heart said, if the Rav says so, I'll do it. He went, opened the box, and how much do you need? Let's say 100 golden coins, exactly 100 coins. For marrying off his daughter. The butcher didn't have enough money to marry off his daughter.
The butcher or
the butcher?
The butcher. The butcher didn't have enough money.
He gave all the money.
No, he didn't have enough money. Maybe he had bad investments. He didn't have enough money. He wouldn't become poor because of giving tzedakah. Nobody gives his last penny to shul. There are other savings, but he ran out of it. So he says here that what do you learn from this? The exact amount of money that he gave for lighting menorah was the amount of the money that he needed to marry off his daughter, and the shamash actually saved it for him. So he says, listen to this. Doing one mitzvah with so much kavanah, so much passion, with excitement. You say, wow, I'm lighting the menorah. Nobody cares. Nobody cares in the shul. Who wants to get dirty to light the menorah? He wanted to do it every day. And every day he would, get a rangetan. He was very involved. He loved doing that mitzvah. And he made the butcher of the town excited about it. Must be something very important that this guy is doing it. I'm jealous. I want to do it myself. So the Yirat Shamayim that he showed, transform and transpire somebody else also to have it and want to do the mitzvah. So now, there are 3 points here. One is that the Katzab, the butcher, thought, I'm giving the money to the shamash, to the gabbai, the simple Jew, right? But in the end, it was clear that he was giving it to himself, to marry off his own daughter, right? So people think, I'm giving money, but no, you are gaining the money. The money was given to that guy to light the menorah was the exact amount of money that he needed it to marry off his own daughter. That's number one. Number two, because that shamash was so careful in lighting the menorah and making the mitzvah so perfectly, he did another mitzvah. Marrying off a lady, that's a very big mitzvah. To pay someone's wedding, if someone cannot afford a wedding and you help him out, one of the highest mitzvot, highest form of tzedakah is to get married. People can get some people. I'm not saying he wants to throw like $500,000 wedding, he doesn't have the money. But somebody wants to make a decent, nice wedding for himself or for Hachmas Kala, right? It's a very, very important mitzvah. Had he not done the mitzvah of lighting the menorah with kavana, he wouldn't do the mitzvah of, so one mitzvah, gorel mitzvah, right? Mitzvah could cause another mitzvot. Right? He did, right? To cast up the butcher didn't have money. He was broke. And number three, to light the menorah with so much kavana, he lit the menorah of neshama of the katzav, of the butcher, because he was also fired up to do the mitzvah. So you could do one mitzvah, one small mitzvah, or maybe not even a mitzvah. And it's not brought. It's brought in Shulchan Aruch. Like, it's good to have lights in the shul to make it, very powerful. A lot of light in the shul is very good, but it's not one of the 613. It's a hidur mitzvah. It's something to make the mitzvah look good. You want to daven? You have to make it look good, right? This simple Jew, his mitzvah was to light the menorah. He made sure that it's a nice menorah, and he did so much kavanah. He was saying, "You're crazy! Just turn on the fire, and that's it." He did it with kavanah, with excitement. He showed that I'm doing a mitzvah. That transpired another person to do the same, to want to do the mitzvah. So a person should always remember, when you do a mitzvah with excitement, with a lot of kavanah, you want to do a mitzvah, other people learn from you. We talked about this yesterday, right? When a person has passion for something, the passion overflows and goes to other people. You have to, in anything. Some have a lot of passion for money, other people learn from to have passion. Passion for Shabbat, people learn to have passion for Shabbat. Tons and tons of stories. People who are passionate, other people learn from it. Here too, this simple Jew was passionate about lighting a menorah in the shul, which many people ignored it. So many good things came out of it.
Very nice.
It says that now that we talked about making a mitzvah beautiful, there's a very interesting Ramban. Ramban says, the Torah said, why is such a mitzvah to make beautiful clothing, expensive clothing for Aharon and his children? Cost money. There was gold, silver, expensive wool, different type of different colors. Just wear your suit and jacket and go do it. Could do with jeans too. Could do anything. Why do you have to wear such a beautiful clothing and expensive clothing? Working in a Mishkan. The Ramban says, because at that time the kings wore that type of a clothing. That was the norm. Nowadays, the king, I don't see. Maybe the king of England, King Charles, wears that. Even during the week, I don't think they wear suits. For ceremony, right? Even Shah of Iran.
No, only special ceremony.
So, okay. So at the time, the kings wore something magnificent. Just something very fancy, very expensive. Says the Ramban, Hashem wants the Kohen Gadol and the Kohen also look like a king. Why? Because they are working for God. You're doing mitzvah for God. You're not no less than a king. You have to feel like a king, right? You should feel like very proud. I'm going to serve God. I'm a king for God, so I have to look fancy. What did that teach us? That the person who wants to serve God should feel very, very proud. You come to shul, we can't be too casual. In America, in Israel, they go to a wedding very casual. They're smoking middle of the, dancing. It's very, Israel is very, casual, very chodemoni. But serving God, wedding, I think it's more appropriate to go very, you have to go sophisticated. You have to be classy, but you're giving honor to the ceremony. That's the casual. It's a very important thing. Going to shul, the same thing. Person prays has to be very proud. You have to be very, you don't have to wear maybe a $5,000 suit, but you have to wear something. You're a king. Right now, you're serving God. Right? You're doing something, mitzvah. You're talking to God right now. doing mitzvah Shemona Esrei, you're doing Shema Israel, you're doing Shacharit, Mincha, every person should be very, very presentable. You have to make sure it looks nice, looks good. Another thing my Rav said also comes from this Ramban. Rabbi says that you see Hashem wants Mishkan, people who work in the Mishkan, to look good, to look nice, to look mehudar. Mehudar means I say hidur, like ba'ashaku, not just simple, very pashut, very basic, very elegant. Right, very good, very elegant. So some people think that just do the mitzvah. Who cares how you do it? As long as you do mitzvah, sure, could be simple. Doesn't have to be nice. Doesn't have to be fancy. Doesn't have to be elegant. My talit, my sisi, my tefillah. As long as anything works. Don't make it fancy. Don't make it elegant. Hashem says opposite. Lechavot ul tifaret. It should be with honor and elegance. It should be, something. Wow, this is a Mishkan. There's so much gold used, so much silver. This Mishkan costs a couple of $1 million in the desert. So much wool, so much work, so much talent. Yes. If you want to be simple at home. More simple couch, more simple, chandelier. But come for Hashem, you're doing mitzvah, make sure it's beautiful, it's the best, it's elegant, right? That's why the Torah says, Ze keli v'anvehu. This is my God, and I make him elegant and beautify him. So Gemara says, what do you mean? How can you beautify God? What are you going to do to God? Can you catch him? What are you going to do? Right? It's in Av Yashir. Every morning we say it. Right? I'm going to elevate Hashem. I'm going to beautify Hashem. How are you going to beautify Hashem? Gemara says that means when you're doing mitzvot Hashem, make sure the mitzvot are beautiful, look beautiful. You wear a talit, make sure it's a nice, clean, and nice talit. Don't buy the cheap one. If you can afford it, obviously, don't buy something $500 if you cannot afford $500. But if you can afford, make sure you buy a nice one. Tefillin, nice one. Make a sukkah, make a nice sukkah. You're making buy a tugan lulav, make sure you buy a nice one. A tefillin, right? Make sure it's a nice writing. We are in the atmosphere of buying a new sefer Torah for the shul. Hashem should help us to find a very kosher. I'm going crazy. I told my Rav, this is exactly talking to me because I'm going crazy. I want to find the best, not only this cover is a design. The handwriting, the most kosher, the person who wrote it had the Yirat Shamayim, made sure, every time you write name of God, Yud Kei Vav Kei, you have to say, I'm writing this L'Shem, Shem Hashem. If you don't say it, it's possible. And now, how can you find out? You didn't buy it. You don't know what the guy did. Yeah. So you have to trust the sofer, the scribe. You had Yirat Shamayim. That every time he wanted to write the name of Hashem, some even go to mikveh. Every time they want to write the Shem Hashem before to go to mikveh. So therefore, if there is a page, let's say 10 times by Yomer Hashem, 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 what do? They leave it blank. They don't write it. They go to mikveh. They come out. They could do this only for Sefer Torah, not for Tefillin and Mitzvah. So Mitzvah, you have to go straight. You can't go back, right? You can't go lemafra. You can't go back. Anyways, but that's what they do. Some have a mikveh around. Every morning, they go to mikveh. They come back. They write all the name of Hashem that they left, and then they go right. They go further. Again, the next page, whenever he says Shem Hashem, they leave it out, and they come back. So this all has to be at Shamayim. Someone doesn't. It's okay. I just wrote it.
So how would you know? How would you know that?
So you have to find out if the guy is a real, fearing guy. He knows that he's doing it. He's not doing it only for money. He's doing it for the sake of Sefer Torah.
Yeah.
That's hidur mitzvah. And by the way, that's not hidur. That's minimum. That's requirement. Writing the mikveh, you don't have to. It's good, but writing it for the sake of the name of Hashem, to say that before you write it, that's halacha. You have to do it. That's the way. בבקשה, יורד רגע, נפהמי, בבקשה.
Every morning they have to go to the mikveh.
They don't have to go to mikveh, but if they want to write the name of Hashem, it's better to go to mikveh.
For the name of
But so it's brought down according to Arizal, according to Kabbalah. It's very good to have a mikveh around the corner because, or in your house if you can, because you might have to go many times. So for tefillin, you can't skip around and come back, but for Sefer Torah, you're allowed to. So Sefer Torah has hundreds of name of Hashem. What are you going to do? You're going to leave there and then come back, fill it out. So, but the point was, Hidur mitzvah. You have to make sure you do mitzvah. It's nice. It's beautiful, right? Bar mitzvah also a mitzvah. It depends where you want to do the more mehudar. As someone said, is the bar mitzvah or bar mitzvah? Some people just the party is important, but the mitzvah part, make sure you wear nice tefillin. The suda you do for tefillin is nice. You want to beautify the mitzvah, not the bar. The bar mitzvah, not the bar. Some people only go to the alcohol part. I want to make sure I have a lot of alcohol, I have a lot of food. Okay, that's nice too, but the mitzvah has to be important to us, right? Ze keli v'anvehu means Hashem expects from us, when you do mitzvah for me, that should look good too. Not only for you doing for yourself. Things that are personal, a person wants to make it nice because I want to be proud of what I have, right? If I drive the nicest cars and I want to live in the nicest houses and everything should be nice and fancy, how will it come to Hashem? It's okay, Hashem doesn't expect it. Someone told me, why shul has to be so beautiful? Why you spend so much money on the shul? Well, your house is not so beautiful. You don't buy the best furniture for your house. I'm sure you do. Well, for Hashem should be simple. I like to go somewhere simple. So for Hashem, it's not supposed to be simple. For Hashem, it's supposed to be elegant. Beautiful. I went to a shul in Brooklyn, on Ocean Parkway. It's an Egyptian shul. I think Egyptian shul. The Hechal alone cost them $1 million.
Wow.
The Hechal alone. Gold plate, beautiful. I think the whole shul cost them 12 to 13 million. And I went there 18 years ago, before I got married, right? 19 years ago. And that time, already had been built a couple of years before. I think the shul's name is Ahava Ba'achva on Ocean Parkway and King's Highway, maybe around there. Across from Yeshiva of Mir. Abe should know where it is. Right? So the Hechal itself, $1 million. And the whole shul was $12 to $13 million. So Hashem says also Mishkan, a lot of gold, a lot of silver, a lot of wool, linen, all these things. Why? Because for Hashem it shouldn't be fancy. For president it has to be fancy. White House has to be fancy. Everyone has to be fancy. For Mina, Ze Keli Vanru. This is my God. I want to beautify my God. Right? How do I beautify? The way I respect Hashem. Okay. Further on, the Torah talks about one of the outside long quote for the Kohen Gadol was a very fancy one, and not only was fancy the material, in the bottom it says that they were supposed to make a bell and a pomegranate-looking design in the bottom of his long coat, right? When the Kohen Gadol walked, right, we make a bell is ringing, diling, 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 diling. So he says that every time Kohen Gadol came to the Kodesh, everyone would know. V'nishma kolo.
That was the purpose.
The sound should be heard. So the Midrash says, why do you need that? Why do you need to make? By the way, that's how they made sure Kohen Gadol is alive on Yom Kippur. Just in case he died, the sound wouldn't come. They would pull him out with a string. They couldn't go in. They don't even allowed to go in there. So that dring, dring, dring would make Kohen Gadol show that he's alive. But the Midrash also says something very, very important. It says that before Kohen Gadol wants to walk to his own house, which is the Kodesh, that was the house of Kohens, and Kohen Gadol is the head, You have to knock. You have to make noise. Don't barge in. There's a derech eretz. It's a proper conduct. You don't barge into someone's house. You don't just open the door and go in. You knock. You have to make noise. The Midrash says not only someone else's house, even your own house. Even though it's only maybe nobody's there, or maybe only your own wife or your own children are in the house, you knock, right? And then you go in. That's called derech eretz. You have to have manners. This is how people walk into the house. Someone could say, "It's my own house. I could just barge in, do whatever I want." Doesn't apply to my own house. It's my house. Kohen Gadol could have said the same thing. It's my house. It's Hashem. You built it for me. I go in there. Nobody's allowed to go there. It's only me. When Nishma Kolo, the Midrash says, Kohen Gadol, you have to apply proper conduct too. You have to have manners. You don't barge into your own house. A person has to learn a lot of derech eretz. The Mishnah says, derech eretz kadma leTorah. Derech eretz precedes the Torah. Before a person wants to learn Torah or apply Torah, first he has to learn to have manners. You have to proper conduct. Derech eretz, person should apply some common sense, and this is the right thing. You don't barge in. Even for Kohen Gadol, this applies. One other point I saw from Rabbi Zilberstein, he says that talks about because the Torah says, when you light the menorah from the night and the day, Merev ad boker, from night to the morning. So he talks about the night in our generation and the day. I want to make it very, very short. He says the night represents all the tragedies that happened. This is even before October 7th. He wrote this book about 10 years ago, 15 years ago. And he talked about the tragedies at that time. What do we say about our time, right? A person should know there's Erev, there's night. There's tragedies that are unfortunately bad things that happen to the Jewish nation. But should know it will be a bokeh, it will be a day. It will end. We will, with Hashem, will get to a safe place. He says that they're more active. He said the Kloisenberg Rebbe was in the Shoah, was in the Holocaust, and a simple Jew who didn't really know much. He said, "What's going to happen to us?"
Yes, the Kloisenberger.
Kloisenberg. He said, "Yetov, everything will be okay." You see, Nazis are winning. We are middle of the war. We are losing. How can you do? We'll be okay. We'll be fine. And then he said, "You're going to be okay?" He told her, "I'm not a Navi. I'm not the son of a Navi." But one thing I know, we will be okay. So he said, "What do you mean?" He said that, on a personal level, we don't know what's going to happen to every person. On a community level, population of Jewish nation, and on a national level, this is not the first time, it's not the last time. There's so many dark nights in our history, but we are still around. Yes, perfect. Thank you. That on a national level, they have been trying to destroy us. Imagine, from Babel, from Egypt, from Greeks, always wanted to wipe us out. But look, they are gone. Nothing is left from them. But we are. Am Yisrael Chai V'Kayam. The Jewish nation is still alive and strong. It says that you look around. There are so many big Jewish families, famous ones. They all come from Holocaust survivors. His grandfather, his father, our Abe, Mr. Abe Altman, Baruch Hashem, wonderful guy. You're a Holocaust survivor, right? Your parents were in Holocaust. There's so many people who can relate to Holocaust, first, second generation. Imagine what's left out of Nazis or other enemies. They're gone, they're destroyed. Nothing left. No one goes, you see, this is the grandson of... Not too many people are around, and in the next generation they'll all be gone. Nobody remembers. This is the Hispanic kingdom that kick the Jews out. They're gone. So the Erev, the for sure are dark nights, but there will be uh, day, there will be a morning. So then he says that a person has to be very smart to use the opportunity of the dark night to make himself elevated, to make himself better. And he says this is once in a life opportunity where a person could make himself very distinguished. He says that he said this Tehillim, Maskil LeDavid biyotav emarat tefillah. Right? In Tehillim that we say every morning, Maskil LeDavid. What does it mean, Maskil LeDavid? Right here in this paper, Meila. Tehillim Kuf Membet, right? Page 409, as you announced it. It says, Maskil LeDavid biyotav emarat tefillah. Maskil comes from Sechel. Smartness for David HaMelech, that he was in the Me'ara, he was in a tunnel, he was in a cave, right? And he said tefillah, he said a prayer. This prayer was said by David HaMelech when he was hiding from Shaul in a cave. So he said, I'm running away for my life, from my father-in-law, Mr. Shaul. He wants to kill me, doesn't want me to be the king. I have to make a best out of it. I have to say tefillah here. Now I have to daven. And that's why they're not, instead of based on a nevuah, he said, Maskil David. That was a smart thing to do. He goes, why, in a misery, I'm running away, when it's going to stop, how much tragedy. Instead, he's saying a tefillah, he's saying a tehillim at that time. He's making up a new parak. That's being smart. So this is saying, you want to be smart? When tragedies happen, try to do something good. And make sure that goodness stays with you and elevates you. Yesterday, my friend, that came from Israel here, said, oh, Chobat. I know him from 20 years ago, maybe. Yeah, a long time ago. He came to Yeshua in Baltimore, and I didn't know he had moved out to Israel. He said that, he was very impressed. Why? He said, I've been to many shuls around. Nobody says Avinu Malkeinu. They forgot about Israel. I live there, I know what's going on. I'm so impressed. You open the Echal, you say Avinu Malkeinu, you say Tehillim. Kol HaKavod. That shows Ahavat Israel. Why? Because when this started, we all felt connected to Israel. We followed the news. We are so concerned. Didn't forget about hostages. Rishon LeZion, Rabbi Yosef keep saying, do not forget the hostages. Keep saying Tehillim. Many people say, half of them are afraid. The rest, something will happen. Enough. How many times do you have to say Tehillim? Just because we are, Baruch Hashem, safe and sound in America, we shouldn't worry about our brothers and sisters in Israel. Is that fair? It's not fair. So I didn't think about it so much that he opened my eyes to it. But I think that shows our community did something good with this tragedy. That was maskil. That was very smart of us. To say Tehillim, to say Avinu Malkeinu, to prolong our tefillah a few more minutes. And I know everyone's a big rush when they go out, but this is going to stay with us for a very long time, for a lifetime. The tragedy happened in Israel. For months they said Tehillim, for months they said Avinu Malkeinu. We were connected. And our brothers and sisters are really in trouble. The 250,000 people, homelessness, they are going around, the north, nobody lives in the north anymore. They emptied out the cities. In the south, many people are afraid to go back to their homes because it's not secure yet, it's not safe yet. So he said one of the mashkichim said that when there's a tragedy, when it's Erev, when it's night, make sure you make a light. Make something good out of it. Don't waste it. Use opportunity. Maskil David, be smart, right? You are in the Me'ara, in the cave. You're crying, you're worried, you're miserable. No, make a good thing out of your tragedies. That should be, none of us should have any tragedy. But when there's the darkness, when there's the night, right? You have to light the menorah. You have to make something good out of it. So there's something very, very important to remember. Another nice thing he says that Kohen Gadol said the Kohen had to wear special dresses, as we said, beautiful dresses, and he says that Begadim represent Hashem, represent Kedusha, And that's not only for the Kohen or Kohen Gadol, it's for every Jew. Every Jew has to always feel like I'm a Jew. These are dress, I carry myself, present myself. He says, a story that from who was that Rosh Hashiva, the Guru Rebbe. The Guru Rebbe said, Guru Rebbe was Rosh Hashiva of Ger Hasidim, and Hasidish people, they always wear, call it kapata, a long coat. Even during summer, the long coat. Summer in New York, long coat. That's a dress code. So he says one of his students went to Belgium, from Israel to Belgium, right? He was 22 years old. He needed to go to Belgium. After a few days, he gets a knock on the door, and he says, the postman dropping off a box for him. Opens the box, and he says, oh, it's kapata. Who sent my kapata from Israel to Belgium? So he said that he sees the note from his Rosh Hashiva, Ger Rebbe. When the student left, he asked him, did he take his kapata with him, or he went with his shirt? How did he go to Belgium? People said, kapata is in the dormitory. He didn't take it. Yeshua student has to wear kapata, even in Belgium. You can't leave your clothing around. Send a message to him that you're in Belgium, make sure you have your kapata, you wear your kapata. You have to look like a Jew, doesn't matter where you are. This is how people think I'm on a vacation, I can do what I want. I can lose my image of being a Jew. Whatever a person makes image for himself, doesn't matter you're in a shul, you are by the beach, if you are allowed to be in the beach, you're by the beach. You go to a vacation, you are in Europe, you're in everywhere. A Jew is a Jew, right? A Kohen had to wear that clothing all the time because Hashem has a, expectation of a Jew to be like that Jew. Do not lose it. Doesn't matter where you are. This is another story here. The story is that who is this Rav? Rav Glensky. This Rav Glensky was once riding on a bus next to a Jew who was not religious at all, and they started talking together. So he says, asks this non-religious Jew, what's your red line of Judaism? What's the red line you're not going to cross? You don't keep kosher, you don't keep Shabbat, you don't keep this. What's the red line that this for sure you wouldn't do? So he said that my red line is I will not ever become a goy. I'll never become a non-Jew. I'll always stay a Jew. Right? So he said, that's a great thing that you want to stay a Jew, always a Jew, even though you're not keeping anything. But let me tell you a story. He says, Rabbi Galinsky said, when I was 17, 18 years old, my Rosh Hashiva, I lived in Europe. My Rosh Hashiva sent me to the government to ask the government where was the Nevardek yeshiva? Which country? Poland? Hungary? Poland. Okay. The government of that city, can you please give us a promise? He sent this 18-year-old Bachur, young man, to the government officials to get a promise from them that when Nazis come or they're getting close, you don't kick us out of our homes. Because the first thing they did, Jews would lose their ownership to their home. You don't own your house anymore. Get out of here. That was the first step. So Rabbi says, I took a train. I went to the, wherever the government officials were. I couldn't get the. I came back upset that Roshua sent me to get the thing that Jews won't be kicked out of their homes. The government said, we can't give any promises. If we have to kick you out, we kick you out. Rav Glensky was an 18-year-old boy, was sent by the Rosh Yeshiva to the government, to the White House, to ask the White House, would you promise us, right, when the Nazis get close, you will not kick us out of our house. Don't make us, homelesses. The government did not give the promise. He said, no, if they pressure us to kick you out, we kick you out. Either Poland or Hungary, they were not any better than Nazis. They would do anything for the Nazis. So he said, on my way back, I was very upset that I can't give a good news to my Rosh Yeshiva. But then when I stop and I see the mayor of the small city giving a speech to his people. What is he saying? He's saying that the Nazis are approaching us. They're going to come to war with us. And they already asked us to give in. Just, to surrender, unconditionally surrender. Just say, we are all yours, we could take our city. And why our city? This mayor of a small town, because we are by the border. If they conquer us, they got to go very easy to the rest of the country. So we have two options. Either to give in, to surrender and say, our town is yours. You could use it as your base, be your military here, right? And then easily they would capture the rest of the country. Or we're going to fight here. Even if you die, we'll make sure they can't conquer the rest of the country. It all starts here. Right? If you let go of our small town by the border, they're going to have a strong, a very big stronghold, and then they're going to come to the rest of the country. The mayor said, I want everyone to fight for their life and not let the Nazis, not about Jews. He's not trying to protect Jews. That's our own town. We don't want to give in our country to Nazis. Rabbi says, wow, that's such a great idea. He went to Rosh Yeshiva. He said, Rosh Yeshiva, I'm sorry. I don't have good news from you. The government did not promise me not to go out. But I learned something. Whenever we give in to someone, the next is next. The rest is next. They come after everything else. Rabbi Kensky is telling Rosh Yeshiva, I learned something very, very important in my life. Whenever you give in, next. Then you can't control the rest because you already gave in. So Gensky says, this was like 56 years ago in Europe. But to you is that I don't want to become a goy. That's the red line. I'm not going to cross the red line. But if you give in to everything else to become a goy, up to there you think Sahara is going to let you go? Of course, if you have given to everything, the whole country is gone. You think the few more small towns, the enemy is going to let go? Of course, it's going to conquer it. You're going to surrender everything. Make sure you fight the first city by the border. That's what it's trying to say. The mayor of the first town said, if you let go by the border, it's going to go across the country. We have to fight it here, right? Someone says, you know what? I'm okay. Even if I don't keep kosher, I don't keep the holidays, I don't keep Shabbat, but I won't become a goy. I won't marry a goy. It's impossible. When you do everything wrong, we surrender everything, all the values. You think the last one is the husband let you go? Of course. Unfortunately, we see around people who give in to everything, to give in to the red line, to no red line. Everything will cross. So Grinsky said that was my advice or conviction to this young man. Don't say my red line is only not to become a goy, because eventually the person will become a goy if everything else is compromised. The last thought of the Parsha. The Parsha talks about korbanot, sacrifices, right? The Torah says that the person, this is a mitzvah that they kept it for the rest of time of they had the Mishkan, the Beit HaMikdash, bring 2 sheep every day. So it says 1 sheep in the morning, 1 sheep in the afternoon. Whenever that sheep stops, Beit HaMikdash is finished, right? That's happened. Including Shabbat, including Yom Kippur. Olat Tamid. This is a most everyday thing, no stop. So now, 2 sheep a day. Let's say, I don't know if it ever happened, but let's say in the morning they couldn't do it. They forgot that something happened, they didn't have enough sheep. In the afternoon, they bring a sheep. They say, you missed the morning. Can you do the afternoon? Yes. The 2 are not related. You could do in the morning. And you should do in the morning, you should do in the afternoon. Like 2 tefillin you got. Tefillin of the hand and tefillin of the head. So if for any reason, the person doesn't have tefillin of the hand or cannot do it, or his hand is wrapped with cast or something, you can't put on tefillin on his hand, you should do the head. They're not connected. They're the same mitzvah, but they don't depend on each other. Put the tefillin on Shel Rosh, even though you don't have the hand one. So the Brisker Rav says in the pasuk here, there's extra he. It says et hakeves ha'echad ta'aseh b'boker v'et hakeves ha'sheni. Look at the parsha of. Can you please give me your siddur? And then has a mincha. So in mincha we read in the morning and afternoon. We always read this parshat Pinchas. He says et hakeves echad ta'aseh b'boker. 1 sheep you do in the morning. 1 sheep et hakeves ha'sheni ta'aseh b'boker. Echad doesn't have a hay. In this parsha I highlighted it. Et hakeves echad. Why is to add a hay here? I mean, grammatically, there's no problem. Either way, it works. But if you don't have it in Parshat Pinchas, why do you have it in Parshat Tetzaveh? You have an extra hay.
He mentioned in both parashas.
The same pasuk, the same mitzvah, 2 parashas, right? Repeated in 2 places. But one parasha goes the first one in the morning without the hay, but the second parasha in the morning is with the hay. The Brisker says that, you know why? He wants to say the first time that they did the Korban Tamid, when Moshe Rabbeinu inaugurated the Mishkan, the first day, even though second day on, if you miss the morning, you could do in the afternoon, but the first day, if you miss the morning, you cannot do in the afternoon. Hashem wants to make sure you do the morning too. Ha'echad, the first one, the first day of Mishkan, make sure you bring the Olat Tamid, right? Don't miss it, don't lose it. If you don't do it, the afternoon doesn't work either. So that's what the Brisker Rav said. The Torah wanted to make sure that Moshe Rabbeinu will not miss out the first. Let's say they started on Sunday or Monday, whatever it was. Rosh Chodesh Nisan. I mean, they did this 7 days before Rosh Chodesh Nisan. But the day that they started it was Monday. If they missed the Monday morning, they couldn't do it in the afternoon. But Tuesday, if they missed Tuesday morning, they could do it Tuesday afternoon. But Monday had to be morning and afternoon or nothing. Obviously, they did both. So the Mepharshim say, what is the message? Why did Brisker come out with this idea that Echad means that Hashem expected for sure to do it the first day, the morning one? So our friend brings down some Mepharshim that it shows how important it is when you start something, you start it right. Right? Either you start it right, you will not start it. The very first time you build the Mishkan, you put the Mizbeach there, you don't want to do it right, you don't want to miss the morning, not the afternoon, doesn't work. Either you do it right or forget about it, right? So that's why we have a very big concept. All the beginnings are important. If you're doing something, starting something, make sure you start it right. He brought down a very important example. I mean, there are many examples. Bar mitzvah, the first is very important. Wedding, the Sheva Barachot, we start the wedding in the right way. You want to do everything right. The beginning is very right. He also brought down that with the yeshiva, in Baltimore, they built the new yeshiva that we are in at right now. Yeshiva said, I want the first week of inauguration, nobody is allowed to talk anything but the Torah in the Beit Midrash. No, only you're there to daven and learn. You want to say hi, how are you? Go outside. I want the walls of Beit Midrash to be so kadosh, so holy, and nothing else should be mentioned for the first week. Because this is going to have a consequence for generations to come, decades and decades of people. Because the beginning will show what the end is going to be, right? You're setting standards. You want to raise the bar. You want to make sure that I'm doing it right from the beginning. The Gaon Mivina writes, if building a shul, every brick, every wood is made by a Jew with the right kavanah, right? The tefillah the person prays in that shul is unbelievable high level. It's like a praying Beit HaMikdash. Why? Because the Mishkan also, every piece of Mishkan was built with Jews who had the right kavanah. There's no non-Jew involved in making the Mishkan. All Jews, men and women, all Jews doing it. So if every shul would like this, he said the fact that Mishkan was never destroyed, it was hidden. It was never destroyed because it was commanded by Hashem, built by the general contractor was Moshe Rabbeinu and Bezalel, and Jews did it. Everybody had the right kavanah. Hashem could not destroy it. First Beit HaMikdash, non-Jews helped out. Second, for sure, it was not as holy as the first one, but the first one it was only Jews the right kavanah building it, right? So all the beginnings, the buildings, right, the foundation, tremendously important. That's why Hashem said, "Etakeres ha'echad." The first day, there's no way you missed the morning. If you miss it, I don't want you to do it today because you're starting in the wrong foot. Make sure when you start something, you start it right. Shabbat shalom.
Shalom.